Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I will be discussing some of these settings that I think all of you should be using by now, and I'm just gonna explain why I think all of them are very helpful. So first of all, I'm gonna go over the door setting. So as you can see over here, there is first of all there's the auto open doors, sprint by default, auto pick up weapons, and sort consumables to the right. And those are the settings I'm going to talk about. So first of all, the hold to swap pickup. First of all, I think you should have auto open doors on, because first of all, let's say you're doing a triple edit, right, and you mess up and you place a wall, it won't stop you. Let's say you can still run through. Okay, well, muscle memories. Yeah, see, look, hey guys, you see that, right? I didn't slow down. Whereas if you didn't have it on, let's go turn it off. Do I have to spam my R key and open it myself, or whatever my use key is, and then it would slow me down. So, and although some good players could outplay you by placing a door and making you auto open it, so then they can get a free shot on you, that's very rare, and that would just be a good outplay on their part if they know you have a setting. But in general, people won't really expect it, so I think it's still better just to do just to have the setting on. Because let's say you're running through a building as well, you don't want to have to stop to open doors. You can just run right through, and that way you basically won't slow yourself down. Now the next setting, I mean, is this one. It would be sprint by default. Now in the past, a lot of people just use their sprint key. However, now when optimal keybinds are really important to make sure that you can stay ahead of the meta, sprinting by default is a lot more helpful rather than having to waste one keybind to sprint, because there's really no disadvantage of sprinting all the time. It makes it easier for you to do side jumps, and in general, it just makes things easier for you to do. So yeah. And if you're even though some people want to be sneaky, if you just hold out your gun and crouch, you can hear there's barely any footstep sound compared to this. You can hear that little ticking sound this. It's pretty obvious. So that would probably be what I have for sprint by default. It makes it a lot more convenient. There's really no reason to waste a bind on just sprinting, especially since you can just sprint by default yourself, and then be slightly less sneaky, but that doesn't really matter unless you're you just being sneaky. But in general, most pro players don't do that. So next, it would be next one would be hold to swap pickup. Now this one's slightly more controversial in a way. Let's say I have this, right, but I don't want to have to pick it. I don't want to have to put in the wrong slot. Instead of just doing that, I could have just hold to swap it. Now some pros complain when they're spamming pickup, it made it hard for them. It accidentally held to swap. But honestly, I think they fixed that already, so it's a pretty good thing to have on. So you can always just let's say you wanna swap it for your AR. It's always a lot easier just to hold it instead of having to drop your AR and then picking it up, or picking it up and then swapping slots of your AR. So yeah. And the next setting I wanted to go over would just be auto pick up weapons. Now, a lot of people, I don't know, some people don't use it because like it picks up random weapons, but like if this combined with the auto swap consumables, it's really helpful because like, let's say you just auto pick up stuff, right? I don't know if I can auto pick this up, but yeah, you can just auto pick up things, and then like if you don't want it, you can, and you see something else you want. Let's say I auto pick this up, right? But I want to pick up that. I can just easily swap it out, and it won't be so much of a hassle. Now, in some ways, like it got nerfed a little because in the past it was a lot easier to pick up guns before other people with this on. But it still is relatively easier to do that compared to like 50-50 or someone. So I personally say just have it on. And the next setting would be to have your textures on maximum, because if you didn't know, that actually gives you more FPS. I don't really know why. And also have DirectX 12 on, and allow multi-threaded rendering, and turn off motion blur and VSync because that stuff doesn't make your FPS good. And I think, in my opinion, turn colorblind mode off because like now there's no more advantage of having it on. If you didn't know why pros used to use it, it was because you could see through the storm better, but now that they changed that storm, regardless, it's still hard to see through. So well, it's easier to see through from the outside, but harder to see through from the inside, so there isn't much of a benefit of using that except for changing the colors. Now, I personally have Mark Danger when targeting on as well, so you don't have to have a separate bind for it. So I can just do this, and then scope in, and then do that. If you didn't know, if you scope in, right, and you target, you can still mark things, so there's no reason to have that off. Now, next one would be, I think this is only for controller, so it doesn't really matter. And auto store consumables to the right. That is one of the most important settings, like, because most people, unless they're controller, right, most people have their minis and stuff at the back. So if you're on KBM, always have this on. See, like it puts my mini to the last slot where it's harder to press. So like I have, like, let's say I drop my entire inventory, right? If I pick this up, it goes at the front, but if I pick up my mini and stuff, it will all go into order, so that way I don't have to sort out my heals, and like I can pick it up and start drinking immediately instead of having to do whatever. Now, next would probably be, let's go to settings. It would be to, well, confirm edit on release. I talked about that in the previous video. If you want to go see, check that out. But like, I personally like having it on. I turn the HUD scale down, so then like I get more like, I can see more of the like screen, so it's not so much blocking. That way, like, it's better in terms of gameplay, because you don't really need to see everything. Like, as long, I can still see my mats, everything I have, and all the guns and weapons and whatnot, so it doesn't really matter. And you can even turn it down more to like 60. But, like, that's a little bit small, that's why I was like keeping it at 70. Now, in terms of here, I'd keep show spectator count on, reticle, player health, resources, minimap, quick bar on, target info, yes. Pick up loot stream. I'm pretty sure that's the thing, right? I don't even know what that is, but usually I like to have quest progress off, because being a competitive player, or like being someone who doesn't grind so many quests anymore, it just makes it annoying when like a massive quest pops up in the middle of like while you're playing, and then like, yeah, I feel like they should make a setting where you can actually like disable those like level up things, because those level up things make really weird noises and they're really annoying as well. So hopefully they add a setting for that. And yeah, I'd also keep the these are probably the best settings in terms of FPS. Keep all these at low and that other one at high. This is my sensitivity. If you only play mouse, just lock it at mouse. So apparently gives you better, less input delay anyways. In terms of sound, I keep it on high, 3D headphones on. And if you want to know, 3D headphones, you should only have it on if your headphone doesn't have that function built in already. So keep that on if your headphone doesn't really have radio audio originally. And I turned this off because, like, as I explained in a previous video, it makes your FPS worse and like it makes things look not so good in general. Licensed audio I still play it because I'm not monetized yet, so and that's probably gonna be pretty much it for this video. Oh, also keep your full screen mode on instead of windowed full screen, which I see a lot of people use. Keep it on full screen because as you can see right here, it says it will make your game run slightly faster. And that'll probably be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.